Kison.
여기에서 이런 원정골이 김진수의 발끝까지 터졌어요.
The header is good, and it's the giant defender John Daegu, and eventually Korea have broken the deadlock.
You're listening to the K-League United podcast, proud partner of Football Nation Radio.
Hello, I'm Ashmi Khan. Welcome to the K-League United podcast. I'm Paul Neat, your host this week, leading the line on my own after a bit of squad rotation, and first team regulars Ryan Walters, Matthew Binns and Peter Hampshire are all rested. But fear not, we might hook an under-22 player just before half-time and go for broke, as we have a very special guest waiting on the bench, ready to come on and make an impact. But first, we begin with a look back to the super match from the weekend just gone. FC Seoul recorded a 2-1 win over Suwon Samsung Bluewings on Sunday, Kison Young's first win since returning to K-League. The victory extended Seoul's unbeaten super match run to 18 league matches over the Bluewings and moved them into the top 6 prior to the midweek fixtures. But for Suwon, worrying times, as relegation concerns do not appear to be going anywhere anytime soon, despite the appointment of club legend Park Geun-ha as the new manager. Our illustrious editor-in-chief Ryan Walters and I were at the super match, and here's what we thought.
Hello, 안녕하세요. Ryan Walters along with Paul Neat at Seoul World Cup Stadium. And Paul, super match indeed.
I think it was. It was a game that had two teams that struggled to really carve out clear-cut opportunities. Mm-hmm. But what it did also have is a player who can carve out something out of completely nothing. And Han Seung-gyu's done that not just once this season, but 3 times, really. Yep. All 3 of his goals for Seoul this season have been quite good ones. And today, it was probably the best of the bunch.
A tremendous goal. Instantly, the few folks that were here, the few of us that were lucky enough to take this in person, you could just hear an audible gasp as soon as that went in. Of just, did that just happen? Because it was a wonderful goal, tremendous, and obviously the highlight of this one. But I think on the whole, it was pretty evenly contested, yeah?
I thought it was, and I thought that was why it needed a goal like that to really, really seal a victory for any of those two teams here. But yeah, it was an interesting game. I thought both teams had spells of possession but they just didn't really know how to make it count, particularly Suwon.
Yeah.
They clearly are missing Adam Taggart, and the Adam Taggart of last year.
Yeah.
He's had a decent goal return this year with 5, but still, it's very clear that they are missing someone to really rely upon, like they have done for a number of seasons. They had Dayan 2 years ago, Adam Taggart last year. Mm-hmm. This year, they didn't have anybody.
Well, Kirpich got the start up there, and just, to be frank, just looked off the pace, just didn't look up for it tonight. Was subbed off in the 53rd minute, so didn't get too much time into the second half either. And like you say, Suwon really, based on what they were doing, they looked great to come out. I mean, that first goal was an own goal for Suwon, really came against the run of play. Suwon just came out all guns blazing, looked good, were getting chances, but they didn't really have anybody to convert. Go down to the other end, and you put the ball in the back of your own net. And as you pointed out pre-match, they don't do well when they're down a goal, and they didn't in this one. Yeah,
that's now another game where they went behind and they failed to get anything out of it. They've just earned 4 points now from games where they've fallen behind. So, difficult for Suwon. And with another huge game going on elsewhere, at the moment, I believe it's at this time of recording, it is 0-0 between Busan Park and Incheon, which would mean for Incheon, if they were to get at least a point, the gap is now just 2 points, which is really, really concerning for Suwon Bluewings, because not so long ago, they looked like they were pretty safe. Incheon with this revival, phenomenal for them, but for Suwon Bluewings, very worrying. And for Park Geun-ha, the new manager, not the start that he would have wanted. I don't think they really deserved to lose the game. Really?
Not really. I mean, like you say, there's an individual moment of brilliance from Han Seung-gyu there, and that's the difference. And Young Ki-hoon does what Young Ki-hoon does from the penalty spot, converts, and I think they would have been happy with a point, but I think that's why they lost, because I think they would have been happy with a point, and Seoul wasn't. Seoul wasn't happy with a point, and they know that they needed a win. And they don't want to face Suwon again. They don't want to face anybody in the bottom half of the table, because they want to be in the top half of the table competing for AFC Champions League spots. And to me, that came through. And Suwon, we didn't really talk about this too much pre-match, but Adam Taggart's not even here.
No.
Today. He's not even here with rumors of a move to the Middle East. This isn't helping that at all. So if you're Suwon right now, there has to be a lot of cause for concern.
I mean, yeah. Let's just have a look at the subs that Seoul made. They made them at half-time. Kison and Park Ji-young, love him or hate him, he does have a tendency to come up good in big games. They both came on at half-time. Suwon waited until a little bit in. Obviously, as you said, they brought off Kirpich and brought on Kim Gun-hee, who's not exactly got the best goal records out of any K-League striker. And then they brought on Han Seung-gyu, who's also not really an out-and-out striker. They just didn't have the options on the bench. Seoul did. And they were proactive in the way that they wanted to do it. Like you said, that Seoul knew that they were not content with a draw.
Right.
A place in the top 6 was up for grabs if they were to get the win, which is what they did. So, yeah, credit to Kim Ho-young for being proactive in that sense. For Suwon, yeah, it is a worrying sign that even their bench is not really got that many options.
Yeah, and speaking of a worrying sign, this is 18 straight league matches without a win in the super match for Suwon Bluewings. And we did have a question come in on Facebook here from Peter Hampshire, who's doing all sorts of work tonight. And he's asking, why do you think Suwon have such a poor record in the super match?
It's a very good question. I mean, it's got to be psychological now, at this point. But it's a very good question because, there aren't that many players still here, in K-League. We do get quite a lot of chopping and changing. Squads change quite a lot over the course of a transfer window or certainly over the winter break. So you wouldn't think that it would matter too much, but it's just, it's like, I don't know, a hoodoo, a curse. Something's not right. And, they haven't won here, like I said earlier. They haven't won here since 2014. So it's a good question. Maybe Seoul just have their number.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way. And I think that kind of played out in the second half here. And this one's going to have a lot of ramifications in the league because it looks like now with just 2 league matches left before the split, doesn't look like Suwon's getting out of that. I mean, mathematically, I don't think it's impossible yet. We're just finishing up the match here. Don't have the league table in front of us, but I think they're going to be facing Incheon, and I think those that make the schedules, if they're doing things the fun way, we're going to see Incheon Suwon on the last day of the season. And
that will be good.
That might be the greatest of great escapes. I mean, imagine we see this from Incheon every year where they do this, but imagine if they can do it and they can relegate a team
and
Suwon.
What I will say as well, Cho Sung-hwan is the new manager at Incheon, and he guided Jeju to second in 2017. But if he was to keep Incheon in the division, that would be his greatest achievement as a manager, without a doubt. Especially
considering where they were, shortened season, everything else that's going on right now. Yeah, so again, we're doing this obviously before Incheon's results go final. But for Suwon tonight, what answers do they have moving forward? How do they move on from this?
It's a very good question. They're going to have to try and find a combination or try and find someone that can score for them, or at least try and keep clean sheets because if goals are hard to come by, you have to make set pieces count, but they're not even doing that either. Yeah. So, I don't know. A concern, Daniel Henry's obviously injured as well, otherwise he would have played. He's been a big loss for them. If he can be back fit in time towards the split at least, then they might have a chance. But I don't know where the goals are going to come from. Yeah, ultimately.
Yeah, and then the other end of it, to kind of try to end on a positive here, FC Seoul getting another win, and this is Ki Sung-young's first win since coming back to K-League. Is this a sign of things to come? Are they going to be able to keep this up?
It depends what they do in midweek against Incheon, because we've seen it before where they picked up a win and you wonder whether they can kind of build on that. But away to Incheon in the form that they're in. But having said that, I think all of Incheon's wins have come away from home this season. Sure. So it might not be, if they were to play here, maybe Incheon would be the favourites. Yeah, sure. But yeah, if they can get a positive result against Incheon, then they might even be able to get into ACL. I mean, because 5th spot might just be available. Obviously, because Sangju, they're going to finish 3rd. Yeah. And if any of the other teams in the top half of the table win the FA Cup, obviously you've got Jeonbuk, Ulsan, and Pohang also in the FA Cup, and Seongnam. So if Seongnam win it, then obviously not. Yeah. But if the other 3 teams do win the FA Cup, then 5th spot is open, and Seoul are only 3 points behind Daegu now.
Yeah, and Jeonbuk's got to do something to salvage their season, right?
Well, exactly.
we'll talk more about that at another time. But anyway, a pretty entertaining match on the whole here. And like you say, I think slightly hard done by Suwon, but FC Seoul have a difference maker right now. And Suwon, to just call it what it is, they really just don't.
They do not, yeah.
And I think that's why this one ended 2-1. But that is it from us here tonight from Seoul World Cup Stadium. I'm Ryan Walters, Paul Neat. Thanks so much for watching.
E.G. Lewis is your neighborhood British bar and cafe located in the Old Jiro district of Seoul. Decorated in old English antiques and furniture for a true homely feel, you can enjoy homemade scones, cakes and afternoon tea during the day, and traditional British favourites like beef stew, English ale, and a fine selection of wines at night. Available for private parties or simply an evening out, E.G. Lewis is sure to become your favourite neighbourhood pub. Be sure to mention K-League United at the bar during your visit and you'll get 10% off your bill.
Alright, welcome back. One man who has been synonymous with the Supermatch is striker Dejan Damjanovic, having scored for both FC Seoul and Suwon Bluewings in Korea's biggest derby. These days, though, Dayan is turning out for Daegu FC and doing his utmost to fire the Sky Blues back into the ACL. He is our guest this week as Daegu head to the capital on Sunday to take on FC Seoul. Dayan, an absolute pleasure as always. How are you?
Tired. Last night game and a very important game, a lot of pressure. We won, but I feel now really, really tired. So we don't have too much time to recover for big match on Sunday.
Yeah, this schedule is really busy. Really busy.
I can understand this, and you saw my message even on on Twitter. I said I think we need to squeeze the schedule now to finish until end of October, because if you wanna give some chance to K-League teams, you need to give them a few days to rest, to recover, minimum 1 or 2 weeks. That when this Champions League game started, they can do something, man. They're gonna have games in short time. Some groups gonna have 5 games in the group before the split. So I don't know. We're gonna see. I think this schedule is tight, but I think it's only way to fit in normal time.
Well, on Wednesday night, 2 goals for you and an assist, in great form now, and Daegu back to winning ways. Perfect.
Yeah. Finally, we had this really bad month behind us, and we couldn't win. We changed a little bit our system, and we tried to change something. When you are not winning, you need to change something, and it works. Last 2 games was really good. We play good. We keep the ball much better. We had a lot of chances, so I think we are on the good way now to finish season in the how everybody was expecting from us.
And for you as well, you've played 4 games, I think, in around 2 weeks, and you've been starting more games recently as well. Do you feel there's more pressure to score when you start compared to being a sub or coming on as an impact sub?
But not too much. I all my life I was playing from the start, so I feel more pressure when I was coming from the bench, honestly. I know I'm getting older, and it's normally that I cannot play every game, and sometimes I need to be used like a rotation. So I can understand this, but I feel more pressure when I'm coming like 15 or 20 minutes. You need to do something. You need to change the game flow. So when I'm playing from the start, I'm feeling more comfortable. I know what I can do. I know I'm ready physically, and I know the league so much. And nobody knows league better than me. So you see, I'm still working. So I feel much comfortable. I'm not feeling any pressure.
Fair enough. And over the summer, you scored a lot of goals again. I'm sure you will have been asked about this many times, but the nickname, Summer Dayan, and where did that come from? Who made it? And what is it about the summer that just seems to suit you so well?
I don't know exactly when this started, that my nickname. They put in newspaper after, I don't know, few summers. They saw it's working. So I honestly, I don't know when, but it's still working, because I said summer in Korea is really hot. It's really humid. And a lot of players, they don't like that. They don't feel fresh. They don't feel comfortable. They don't feel ready for the game. And they are slower. Simply, they are slower. They cannot run in these things. What is very important in K-League, I feel okay. It's hard for me, same, but when they are slower, I have more chances. I cannot be faster than them, but when they are slow like me, more than enough for me. So when they on the summertime, they are feeling tired and they are feeling exhausted, I'm using that like my advantage to make some chance, score some goal, because I'm not feeling that exhausted like them. It's really simple. Many players like winter and like colder weather, and I don't like that. I don't like when it's cold. I feel really bad when it's cold. I get freezed and I cannot move. So it's just from player to player. I'm summer guy, really. I'm really, really cold at times. So I'm really happy that our league start in March, and still it's cold in March. Many times it's really cold when we start the season. So many times they call me slow starter just because of that. We always start the season in March and it's very cold, and I cannot do nothing when it's cold. So I always need few games to warm up.
Well, you've certainly warmed up now. You're very close to 200 in K-League. Is that something that you've been thinking about?
Yeah, sure. That's my personal goal. First, some people last year, they tried to make picture of me like I'm someone who cannot play football anymore, who is bad for the group or something like this. I don't know. I don't understand this, but some people try to do that. And this year I was really ambitious to show that that's all stupid things. It's really crazy things from someone. So when the season started, I just wanted to play good. I just wanted to come back in my normal shape, in normal form, to show people that I'm not one of that guys what I was last year in newspaper, and game by game, goal by goal. I'm getting closer. So now it's realistically I can achieve that. So I will put that like my personal goal. If I can do that, that means I will help my team with that goals, and probably we're gonna win some game with my goals. So I will try to do that. That's something what is unbelievable, because I know how it's hard to play in K-League one season, not 10 plus season, and to score goal is very hard. I spoke with many my friends who played here in last decade, but 200 in league, that's something was gonna be written for a long time if I can do that in this couple of games. So I will try to use my good form now to achieve that.
Yeah, we'll hope so. But obviously there are 6 games left this season, but there could be next season. Is there any talk of extending or stay at Daegu beyond this year yet?
Honestly, I didn't speak anything with the club. I think it's too early. Still, we have things to do. We have much more important things to focus. I'm saying for the club. Normally, club is now just focused to help us, to give us all support that we achieve this. We can stay in position 5 or maybe even 4, and that's going to be maybe enough for Champions League, ACL spot for next year. So now that's the most important thing. Later we're gonna have a good break, and then we can have time to speak, to negotiate. You don't know what's gonna be. I didn't speak. I'm more than satisfied with everything what's happening here, but you never know what's gonna be next year.
Yeah, the reason why I asked is because, like you just said, Daegu are really in contention for ACL. That'd be a great achievement for the club. And will also for yourself an opportunity to play in the ACL once again and get your goal scoring record back. Is that something that you're focused on as well? Just obviously, like you said, in the short term for Daegu and to achieve that goal, but for you personally as well, playing back in the ACL must be something that you're thinking about.
Yes, my main focus now is ACL. If I go ACL, my first option is going to be Daegu. I promise you this. If we go ACL, I will look Daegu like my first option to play one more year. Everybody knows that I want to be number 1 in ACL history. I think I can do that. I'm sure I will do that if we play next year ACL and I'm in Daegu. So I'm fully focused now. These 6 games from Sunday, and after in playoff, we're gonna see who is gonna be in playoff to take that place for ACL. We have good team. A lot of talent, a lot of young players. So that means we can do that. And I'm sure we're going to be really, really big surprise in ACL if we can keep the squad and play like this next year. Believe me.
When we spoke before the season began, we talked about Daegu as a team, and you said that they had everything: good foreign players, good Korean players, a good mix of youth experience and youth internationals. Is there anything else that you've noticed about the team since then, so as the season's gone on? Any other qualities that the team has?
The biggest disadvantage this year, what we are having still, we don't have fans. This team on our stadium, with full stadium and with our fans, is maybe 20 or 30% even better. Believe me, they are young players. They have a lot of quality, but sometimes they feel the pressure. I know how is that. They are young. They didn't get used to people start speaking, hey, you need to win this game. Hey, you need to win this game. You need to go ACL. You need to be one of the best teams. You need to go national team. You have talent. They get a pressure. They start feeling the pressure. And now we are missing the fans. We are struggling at home sometimes. When we have a tough time, fans will help us a lot. They would help us a lot if they are there. So I'm sure that this team now, the biggest disadvantage is fans. If we have fans, all this what's happening this year with fans will be much easier for us, and probably we'll have minimum 6 or 7 points more at home, where we lose some points at home, especially now in this last month. We lose some points. With these 6-7 points more, we are already in ACL. Everybody knows that we will have like 12 or 13 points more than others. So this is the only thing what we are missing this year. Everything else is perfect. And clubhouse here, it's still improving. Next year, team will have one new fresh pitch just next to our clubhouse. We don't need to move around. So club is doing everything for us to feel comfortable, to feel professional, to have the best conditions to improve. So we have some small things now improving, and I hope so Corona will be behind us next year. So with the fans and the new facility, improved facilities, with this squad, like I said, we need to keep the squad. That's the most important, or even improve him. ACL will be surprised with us again.
Yeah, I'm sure. I have to ask you, though, about the first goals that you scored for Daegu. The first was, of all teams, against FC Seoul. What a crazy game that was, the 6-0. Obviously, you didn't celebrate, but how did that feel? It must have been very strange.
Yeah, really strange. Everybody knows my connection with FC Seoul, and I spent many years there. My best days in my football career was there, so I cannot forget this. And I had a lot of nice memories. So when I'm playing against FC Seoul, always I feel a little bit different. Normally, everybody knows that I am professional and there is no discount for anyone. So when this game happened, man, it was really strange. That time, Seoul was in really bad form, and I don't know what's happened between them. Inside of the team, I didn't ask. I know when they are in the bad form, I don't want now to call and ask, what's happened this? Why are you doing this? Everybody was already angry, so I didn't ask anything, but I saw it's not working, something there. So yeah, we took that chance. We started scoring a lot of goals. So when I scored the goal, I was like, man, I will not celebrate.
Yeah, you almost looked a little bit embarrassed, almost.
Yeah, but it was for FC Seoul. It was. If I'm in FC Seoul, I will probably kick somebody or make some red card, or I will kick somebody in locker room after the game.
Yeah.
I was told that was the way how we work, man. We never happen something like this. But now, things change. A lot of young players, they didn't work well between them and foreigners. I don't know. There was some problem when you concede 6 goals, and honestly, we could score maybe 3-4 more in last 15 minutes. So I didn't celebrate. I was happy with my goal, but I was not happy because I'm scoring against FC Seoul. So it was really strange feeling. But like I said, later I had more chance to score, and I tried to score. So
yeah, you seemed very determined to get one more after that. It seemed that everybody was trying to line up and get on the score sheet. Yourself, you wanted another one.
Yeah, man, this is football. This is K-League. There is no discount. If they think somebody's gonna stop and say, no, we scored 3 goals, finish. No, this. You see the chance they will try to score 10, and I know same feeling will be for Daegu. If Daegu is that situation and playing really bad, everybody wants to score 7-8 against us. That's how things work. So I was trying to do my best, but I was not happy with the situation and what I was seeing on the pitch against FC Seoul.
Sure. But you also scored against Suwon, and you definitely did celebrate that one. I think we all know why. But you must have felt good to show Suwon what they are missing. Was there a sense of relief after a difficult end to life at Big Bird?
But many questions were about this situation, and with me and Suwon, we didn't have any problem. And I was trying to explain, because after that, even when I was playing against Suwon, their fans start booing me like, ooh, they didn't understand. I don't have anything against club. I enjoy in Suwon, and first year everybody saw how much I fight for Suwon when we play ACL every game in league. I think they forget. They are forgetting that. That's the most important thing. They saw how I was treating Suwon Samsung. They treat me really well, from office to people who work in clubhouse, from security, chef, mamas who are cooking for me, and uniform, kitmen, everybody, doctors, everyone treat me really well. And I was really enjoying Suwon Samsung. And I play really good and I fight for the team. I think fans are forgetting that. They were probably under stress because season is really bad for them this year. But then next year, one man tried to change everything. Start saying that some people cannot play football and that I am old, I'm this, I'm that. And we had just problem between us. No fight, nothing, just miscommunication. And we see how it finished. I finished really in bad way with Suwon Samsung last couple of months without any problem with the club. He made problem with the club and me. It looks like I didn't enjoy Suwon and I don't want to play, and something like this. Picture was really bad, honestly, in the end. And I didn't have any problem. This is now you and me live speaking, and I'm telling you, not even one fight with no one. Players, fans, office, nothing. I enjoy every day training, having coffee, dinner with the players, and everything was okay. Just with that man, I couldn't work, man. He tried to retire me. And now I'm showing him, and I'm really happy to see that he's not there, because he already did what he did in Suwon Samsung. You now see the results from his style, and that I'm doing like this. I'm scoring goals. I'm again 10 plus points in the season. In Daegu, where there are a lot of good players, I'm still finding the way to make my goals and my game visible for everyone. So that's more than enough for me.
Sure.
Celebration, everybody. I don't want to speak about this. That was just against one man, nothing else. Nothing.
Fair enough. Sure. Well, looking ahead to this weekend, obviously you do play FC Seoul at Seongnam. The Seongnam win was huge. I could sense the relief after 6 games without a win. Now you have momentum.
Yeah.
No.
Yes. Like I said, we changed a little bit our style of the game, and it works again. It worked against Ulsan, but we didn't win, and we need to win. We had a lot of good chances, and Ulsan was a really lucky team that game. It's a little bit unbelievable to say this, but they were really lucky that game. We need to score 3-4 goals. Goalkeeper was unbelievable. That game against Seongnam, we were really happy because we saw it on the halftime that Seoul lose. So we knew it. If we win the game, we are in playoff, and again we have a gap between other teams. So we have a little bit freedom, more time to enjoy. So yeah, we did this our job. We made the playoff. We are again in a good position for ACL. So let's see now. We are going there. They are in an unbelievable position. They must win against us. And same if we win, I think ACL will be almost 100% in our hand, because we're going to make the big gap in last 5 games. So big game. And if you ask me now, I'm saying if you ask me now, they will not go playoff.
Interesting. Interesting. Well, yeah, they have to win and also hope that Gangwon drop points. So it's not even in their hands, really. So it's going to be very tough for them. Very, very tough.
Yeah,
but,
they lose game where they need to take some point. So they had their chance. They miss. Now they need to save themselves against us. But
not easy.
I think we can make some good results there, and we are now in good moment. They are under pressure. I don't know how they're gonna play, who is gonna play, but I think we can win there and make this end of the regular season really good.
Yeah. So this will be your first trip back to Seongnam since you joined Daegu, but no fans with there. Is that a good thing? Some Seoul fans are still a bit upset that you left.
No, man. No, I miss the fans. I miss the fans that when you go out on the stadium, even when they boo me, it's nice to hear that. I feel that's natural. That's normal thing. You are going their stadium, and I'm sure they will not booing me. I'm saying now for me, that was just because I was in Suwon and they couldn't accept to see me in blue uniform. Even when I signed for now Daegu and I play against them, and what's happened that game when I score goal, I didn't celebrate, and after that, I get a lot of messages from Seoul fans and Suwon fans, to be clear, after Suwon game, I'll say. No hard words, no hard feelings. Now they understand that this is life goes on. This is my new team. I always show respect to Seoul, but like I said, now I'm playing for Daegu, so it was okay. I think if I play there will be not electric atmosphere like everybody was expecting. Everybody is expecting, but it's okay. It's really, really strange to play on Seongnam on empty stadium. It's really, really weird.
Yeah, it is strange.
Last game in the regular season, so we're gonna try to enjoy and play and make one good game, but without fans, everything is different. Believe me.
Yeah, what kind of game are you expecting? I mean, obviously they are, like we just said, they are fighting for top half. But in terms of like your style of play, will it be a similar setup to how you were against Seongnam, do you think, or what kind of tactical tweaks do you think will be made?
Really, I don't know. And normally, I will not. I'm in a good relationship with a lot of players there, and I'm in contact with Osmar a lot. But I will not ask any questions about this. I think that's not my thing to do. We're gonna prepare same for every game, and this is third game in the week, so we play, and you don't have too much time to recover. So probably everybody will be exhausted, especially second half. So probably whatever you make and whatever you organize and plan and start doing, second half after maybe 60-65 minutes, fall down everything. It's going to be just who is in better condition, who rest better, who have more fresh players on the pitch. So let's see. I'm sure that game will be interesting because they cannot wait for draw. They need to try to do something from the beginning. We are a really good team, especially when somebody is attacking us. So let's see. I'm sure the game is going to be interesting. I'm not expecting some 0-0 game. It's not working for anyone. So I think people will enjoy watching on TV, our game, on TV.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, on Wednesday, the manager would have been very pleased that he picked you with your 2 goals and an assist. But I was expecting maybe you to be rested and then saved for Sunday against Seoul, but that wasn't what he was thinking. Do you think you'll start this weekend? Has he talked about that yet?
Yeah, I'm not thinking now about this because game was last night, so I'm really. We have now for 3 days to recover, and the Sunday game night, so 3.5 days. We're gonna see. I think everybody's healthy, everybody's feeling good, so probably we will not change a lot. If I'm gonna play or I'm gonna enter, I don't know. But now it's the good moment for me, for the team, so maybe we will not change anything. I don't know. This is coach club decision. I don't know what's it gonna be. So anyway, I'm preparing to play. Now, how many minutes I'm gonna play, I don't know. But if I feel good, if I can recover for Sunday game, for sure, I wanna play and try to do something against my ex-team.
All right, Dayan, thank you very much. A pleasure as always. Good luck this weekend. I'm sure we'll speak to you again before the season is out. But until next time, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, and see you in the Seongnam.
Thank you once again to Dayan. But now it is time for a short break, after which we'll be hearing from Ryan Walters, Matthew Binns, and Peter Hampshire, who had plenty to talk about following Jeonbuk's 2-1 win over Ulsan on Tuesday night. The win narrowed the gap at the top of K-League 1 to just 2 points. Be right back.
Fans, we want to hear from you. You're encouraged to email KLU at info@kleagueunited.com or tweet at KLeagueUnited with any questions, comments or reactions. Or follow us on Facebook to ask directly during one of our live shows.
Oh, hello. I'm going to say, Ryan Walters here with the peak smugness that is Matthew Binns.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Matthew. How you
Hello.
doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How about you?
I bet you are. We're going to talk about how I'm feeling. We're here tonight. Pete Hampshire is joining us live from Jeonju World Cup Stadium. Pete, how we doing?
Yeah, good evening. I'm getting attacked by a few insects, but apart from that, it was a decent match, wasn't it? Especially for the Jeonbuk persuasion.
Yes, if your thing is hoping that Jeonbuk win everything as they always do, then yeah, tonight was great. It ended 2-1 to Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors, a match score that flatters Ulsan Hyundai, if we're being honest about it. And Pete, I'm just going to start where we have to start. Junior Grau started on the bench tonight.
Yeah, not only him, but also Bjorn Johnson. Yeah.
22 goals in 20 league games coming into this one for Junior Grau. And Kim Do-hoon decided, don't need him. Don't want him out there. And Matthew, how did that work out in the first half?
Well, maybe Kim Do-hoon is onto something, because until the penalty that he scored as a consolation late on, he's only actually ever scored one goal against Jeonbuk previously, which was also a consolation goal in a 3-1 defeat when Ulsan when Jeonbuk had already wrapped up the title. So Junior doesn't actually have quite the scoring pedigree against Jeonbuk, but I don't think that's a big enough reason to drop in. And it definitely didn't work out very well. Jeonbuk scoring within just over a minute of time played. Modu Barrow finding the ball out wide. It was a cross, a low cross, a low pass into Han Kyo-won. Han Kyo-won didn't touch it, did enough to put the defender off, did enough probably to put goalkeeper Cho Hyun-woo off. And it just trickled into net. Everyone thought Han Kyo-won had backheeled it, but replay showed it was still Modu Barrow who had the last touch. So 1-0, and Junior called upon within 20 minutes, or about 25, 26 minutes to come and try and salvage it.
And Pete, we've got to get back to this. I mean, how do you do this? How does Kim Do-hoon keep doing this? Like, how many times can you shoot yourself in the foot before you realize, oh, this is not a good idea? Like, he cowers in fear at the sight of Jeonbuk, a Jeonbuk team coming in the worst form we've seen them in years in league play, and he just set his team up to lose yet again in a big match. Not only that, but he comes into the match not having capitalized on Jeonbuk's poor form and allowing them back into this title race. What is going on?
Tonight, you couldn't have had much more of a marquee match. I mean, it's a season-defining match, and he's got his under-22 player Park Jong-in up front. I mean, it's so unfair on him as well to expect him to play in such a match and have an impact on the game. The two players on the bench, Bjorn Johnson and Junior, must have been wondering themselves. Yeah,
Bjorn Johnson must be livid. Like, I suppose maybe if they've got another under-22 player to play elsewhere. I mean, as a Jeonbuk fan, we all know about the plight of the under-22 player. But I mean, they could have found somebody else, surely, to fill in. Like, that was not what they should have done.
They have had 18 matches with Junior in the starting lineup. It ain't hard to figure out. They've done it. Oh, Pete's getting attacked.
It's because I think these are the only lights left on, so all the bugs are just deciding to come for me now.
They're just coming for you. All right. Well, we won't keep you too long there. I could rant
and rant, and I'm sure Matthew could gloat and gloat and gloat and gloat.
No, I mean, let's before I fully revel in the smugness that was the victory. I mean, let's be honest. The Ulsan until that second half, where I think Jeonbuk actually came out and played some really good football in the second half. I think there was some good passing. I thought Kunimoto did all right in the centre midfield, but Barrow and Han Seung-gyu really paired it well. Young as well was coming forward and attacking well. But until then, at the second half, coming into the second half, I thought it was going to be daylight robbery. I thought there's no way Jeonbuk would have deserved anything of this. And at the end of the match, maybe I was wrong on that. I think Jeonbuk did enough.
They looked all right, but I mean, the thing that I noticed, and maybe this is going to come up in some of the questions that we have, I haven't had time to check in on those just yet. I've just been in an absolute rage. I mean, the thing that killed me is that, okay, so you set your team up to fail. Let's just be honest with what Kim Do-hoon did. You set your team up to fail in the first half by just trying to bunker, hence why we name my location the Kim Do-hoon bunker. And then to make up for it in the second half, you're down a goal in a match that could pretty not secure the title, but make you real nice and comfortable in it, and finally prove to yourself and your players that you can win this match. And they're sitting deep and getting torn apart doing it. Like they had 5 defenders behind the line on that second goal, and Mo Barrow was just like, "Dad, I'll just do what I want. Does that sound cool, guys?" And Han Kyo-won, he cuts through 4 defenders. There are 5 defenders behind the line when they're losing a match. Why are you sitting that deep? And they had to win this game. They had to win this game.
Obviously came back into the side tonight, and he was very frustrated. He was shouting at his defence, and because he shouts in English, they could understand what he was saying as well.
Yeah. So, okay. Anyway, we got to.
For a change, I was going to actually praise Jose Mares, which is not something I kind of like to do, but it's one of those nights. It's a Tuesday night in Jeonju, because I think it was the right call to just bin off his under-22 player tonight and the strongest team.
Yeah, you don't win anything with kids.
Yeah, he sacrificed that substitute, but it wasn't needed, was it? So a good call from him.
No, I mean, and that's the last thing that I'll say before we get down to the mailbag. Kim Do-hoon essentially did the same thing because he handcuffed himself by forcing in a U22 player and then subbing him out before 30 minutes. Like, Matthew, mailbag, please.
Okay, we have a number of questions in the mailbag today. Loads of lovely, lovely questions from our lovely readers. I'm going to go through some of the ones on Twitter. We have one in from our very own Jungmu Yol. He's saying that he thinks Ulsan's approach to the title race is wrong. They shouldn't have rotated the squad in Daegu and widened the gap with a win instead of going all in on this game. The gap would still have been 5 if they had lost to Jeonbuk today. And he thinks it's a misjudgment. And I guess it's more of a statement than a question, but what do you think?
100%. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we'll keep that one short then, maybe. But yeah, I think I agree with that. Yeah, he's wasted opportunities there, and we could have picked up easier points. Asri Furman coming in with, he may have ideas why this is the case, but he wants to know our opinion. Why has Ulsan been so laboured as of late, even before the Jeonbuk game?
Pete, you want to take this one?
Perhaps it's been a strange season, It's been a cramped season with an unusual year. And they did win 8 of the last away games out of 9 this season in K-League. So they have been good on the road. It's just tonight they've come unstuck. It's the first defeat on the road all season in the league.
Yeah, I think that. But also I think one thing you shouldn't be overlooked is the last 3 games they haven't had Kim In-sung. He's been out injured, and he was on the bench today. He started on the bench because he wasn't fully fit. He came on. He didn't actually change anything really, but normally when he plays, he's a massive factor for Ulsan. I mean, he scored 9 goals last season, Kim In-sung. He's certainly a very creative player and very attacking player, and they work better when he's on the pitch. So I don't know how much that has had a factor, but that's something I would point to. Just as the non-Ulsan fan, as the fan of the opposition here.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Ross coming in hot here with how many hours till Kim Do-hoon is sacked. It's a disgraceful decision to not start Junior.
I mean, honestly, why did they even give him a contract? If look, and I'm just going to go in 2-footed on him tonight. If Kim Do-hoon's not in charge of this team, they have an FA Cup title and they win last year's K-League.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of the situation. This man cannot win a big game. There's too much talent on this team for them to keep choking. They choked in the FA Cup. They've choked in ACL. They're choking the second year in a row in the league. It's not good enough.
It's a difficult one because for me, I think that he's done a very good job, but I think he's taken them as far as he can. I think to get them to the stage they are, congratulations. Give him, a nice pay packet and say thanks, but we need to move on to somebody who can deliver. But I think he's created this team, and when they are firing, they are phenomenal. And I mean, they were all over Jeonbuk for a good portion of that first half, and I was terrified personally. So they are good. I just don't think he can't get them over the line, and that's it.
Can't. We've seen this way too many times. He can't play in a big game. He can't set his team up to win in a big game.
Yeah. Dan Croydon, our Ulsan Hyundai columnist. Sorry, I'm not laughing, Dan, I swear. No, I'm reading his question in my head. How do you mend a broken heart?
One question I wanted to ask, by the way, about this Ulsan Jeonbuk is, over the post-split fixtures, is there any? How do they decide who's at home in that? Because it'd have a big bearing on the title race.
It's randomly allocated.
Yeah.
As much as it can be. They try to divide it 3 and 2 usually. I don't know what now they're going to do. I don't know who. Well, be one lucky team.
After watching Ulsan literally throw it away last year at home, maybe they don't want it at home this year.
We'll have to see. Baseball Brit has come in asking, how important is it for the growth and interest, for the growth of interest in the K1 that a team other than Jeonbuk win the league soon? Not much.
I mean, I think it's massive. I think it's absolutely massive. I think we need that because, look, especially in the age of COVID, leagues, there's a lot of competition for eyeballs now. We were very fortunate in May when K-League was one of the first to come back, and we had that opportunity then. But now there's a lot of competition to watch these games while folks are still spending time at home. And if you can start the season and know, I mean, like, okay, why are they even playing Serie A? Just give Juventus the title right now. And it's not really that much different in K-League right now. I mean, I know Ulsan still has the lead, and they could still win, but I mean, if it's 2 points and they have to face Jeonbuk, we all know what's going to happen because it's what always happens.
Well,
but that I'm clearly a little animated. Pete, where are you weighing in on this?
Yeah, I think next season it'll be a 3-horse race because I think Pohang are going to have building. I mean, those 2 games, Jeonbuk, Pohang, Ulsan, Pohang, and after the split, I think there'll be huge games. And obviously, we all know what happened last season. If it was a repeat of that again, I mean, you say Ulsan don't win big games, but they did win that 4-0 game down at the Steelyard earlier in the year. But maybe
massive.
Then there was
so much pressure.
No pressure. You took the words out of my mouth. Yeah.
I think I'd add to that saying, well, I mean, it's far from over, isn't it? It's not over, but this is kind of a message really to Ulsan today. But I'd also say that that stat that we've mentioned that Dan Croydon sent in a couple of podcasts ago about Ulsan having lost to any other side other than Pohang or Jeonbuk in the last 500 days. It's just, it's phenomenal because the teams that they need to beat are what are preventing them from being truly great. As for the actual question itself, I think it's a delicate issue because it's hard as I'm a Jeonbuk fan, but I want to win it every year. But I can see the argument that it has to be more competitive. I think it is competitive this year and last year. I think the problem is you want teams to invest. Now, Ulsan have invested heavily. Jeonbuk have invested heavily. The league isn't going to grow if there isn't any money in the league. That doesn't mean I don't want teams outspend. I mean, Jeonbuk and Ulsan will always outspend, but the money has to stay in the league. There has to be investment, and the league has to be appealing. So it's a balance of trying to keep it competitive, but also trying to keep money flowing through this league, especially when there's no fans coming in at the moment. It needs to be entertaining to those on TV. So yes and no, Jeonbuk need to be up there. It would be my diplomatic answer.
Sure, and it would be great if they're challenging, but it's at least close, and we're not just giving it to them. Dan, our Ulsan columnist, has calmed down enough that he's got one in on Twitter. Said he's calmed down just about enough, and I see Pete's about ready to get the boot there. So Pete, we'll get you out of here on this one. Have Ulsan messed up early enough to pull themselves together and play angry enough to win is what Dan is asking. And I think he's asking you to assuage his fears and tell him that it's going to be okay, Pete.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Kim Do-hoon would make that mistake again of dropping someone like Junior. I think, and imagine if there was the fans in the stadium today. I wonder what their reaction would have been if, like, when he came off the bench, I'm sure there'd have been an ironic cheer. I mean,
oh, of course.
Yeah. I think they will be angry next game. I've forgotten who they've got next up before they split, but I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
Like tonight, Jeonbuk played with some anger, didn't they, at the start of the game?
They were fired up. They looked like a team determined for the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then it all calmed down a bit. And also, not calmed down rather, but also took a grip on the proceedings. Dan's just come in saying it's Incheon they've got. So Incheon might carry that great escape run and make it interesting. But we'll see. We'll see. Like I think it will fire Ulsan up. I mean, especially now because Jeonbuk are going to verse them in within the next 6 games now. So it's not going to be there's a long, wait between the matches. The revenge is going to come quick if Ulsan wants it, and it's just a case whether Kim Do-hoon can deliver on it when it appears.
All right. Well, Pete's about to get the boot.
He's going to get kicked out. So
people don't. The internet doesn't need to see me screaming about things anymore. But
you can leave me if you want.
Yeah, we'll just. It's just going to be a very smug Matthew Binns for the next 2 hours. Anyway, for now, Pete, get out of there before they kick you out. Matt, I just don't even want to see your face for a little while.
I'll see you next week.
Yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.
All right, thank you for that, gentlemen. Welcome back to the K-League United podcast. I'm Paul Nee, getting a rare start this week. And as we head into time added on, let's take a look at what else has been going on in Korean football. The Tangerines peel away at the top of K-League 2. Jeju United earned themselves a huge win in something of an automatic promotion 6-pointer at home to Daejeon Hana Citizen. Goals from An Hyun-bom and Joo Min-gyu sealed a 2-0 win on Sunday afternoon that kept the Islanders on top of the table. Daejeon are now 8 points off the pace and look resigned to the playoffs. Not too far behind Jeju, though, are Suwon FC. And on Monday night, Kim Do-kyun's side kept the pressure on the Islanders thanks to a 1-0 win over an out-of-sorts Bucheon FC 1995. Daniel's goal in the 75th minute was the difference maker and ensured that the gap at the top of the second tier is just 2 points. But for Bucheon, it was a 6 defeat on the trot, what is their worst run in the club's history. To Europe, and while it wasn't the greatest of starts for Seongnam and Tottenham Hotspur, they lost 1-0 to Everton in their Premier League opener. It was goal glut for a whole host of other Korean internationals. It was a dream debut for Hwang Hee-chan, who started, scored and provided an assist in the 3-1 Red Bull Leipzig win over Nuremberg. Hwang made the switch from the so-called other Bundesliga in Austria after a successful spell with Red Bull Salzburg. Elsewhere, 2019 Golden Boy Gang-in laid on 2 assists in Valencia's 4-2 La Liga win over Levante, while in France, Seokhyun-jung was on target for Troyes in a 2-0 win over Pau in Ligue 2. He scored the 37th minute penalty that got his side up and running for what was their second win of the new season. Elsewhere, former Jeonbuk midfielder Lee Jae-sung scored 2 in a 7-1 German Cup win over Rilesingen, and Lee Seung-gyu bagged 2 in St. Truiden's Belgian Pro League match with Royal Antwerp. They did lose 3-2, but for Lee Seung-gyu, he is now up and running for the season with 2 goals, having made 4 appearances overall. Elsewhere in the German Cup, former Bluewing Kwon Chang-hoon got SC Freiburg up and running in a 2-1 win over SV Waldhof, scoring in the 19th minute. Over to the Middle East, where there has been some notable exclusions in the AFC Champions League. Korean international left-back Kim Jin-soo recently departed Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors for the riches of the Middle East, signing for Al Nassr, However, despite convincing the Green Warriors to sell, the Saudi outfit obviously cannot promise him ACL. The Jeonju-born defender has not been registered for the AFC Champions League. Instead, Australian goalkeeper Brad Jones will take up the Asian quota spot. Meanwhile, Jung Woo-young has been dealt a similar blow at Qatari Super League side Al Sadd, but fellow Korean international Nam Tae-hee has been included for Xavi's side. Well, that's it for me for now, but do stay tuned later this week for The Weekend, our new bite-sized preview edition of the K-League United podcast, and this week we'll be looking ahead to round 22 in K-League 1 and round 20 in K-League 2. We are also on Patreon, where you can support the work that we do whilst also gaining access to some exclusive content, as well as being on the mailing list for our quarterly random boxes of K-League goodies. And of course, we are on social media, all at K-League United, and to find us, the link is, as always, in the Bruno bio. Goodbye.
적조선 고공 폭격기 김신